Oh, good stuff, homies. We are out here. Just wait a minute for everybody to get settled in. What's good? Lighting good? Okay, so today I wanted to look at if the Celtics can repeat. Basically, I wanted to see, we're going to look at a bunch of different numbers, a bunch of different stats, find some things out. I'm going to get a little notepad. Give me a little notepad out. Pen. Grab this. So today, if you have not seen, if you don't know what Darko is, you're going to get very familiar with Darko on this channel now. This is the daily adjusted and regressed Kalman optimized projections um, website thing calculator. I don't know. It comes in with a lot of different like models and ways that we can um, better use stats to look at players. Completely like computer generated and automated and things like that. Um, so like some examples, Darko is well suited to answer questions such as BI is shooting over 40% from three in the first 25 games of the year, but despite shooting 33% from three last year, what can we expect his 3-point percentage to be going forward? So they use a lot of numbers and different formulas to kind of show us the future. It's a lot of projections, as it says right here. It's the optimized projections, right? And it's named Darko. I think that's hilarious. So I was looking at some things, and the Boston Celtics won the NBA championship last year. And you know me, I like looking at stats. I like looking at things that allow us to find patterns and ways to kind of everybody wants to know who's going to win next year, right? But we can't find that out necessarily on any other team except for the Celtics because a lot of teams have shifted their lineups around and added players, lost players. The Celtics are the same, so we can see how good they can be. Okay, and we can kind of see some good look at some good numbers. But as like right here, look at this. So this is a plus minus in relation to league average, so the good or bad. This is like the best lineups in the league. Okay, so like this is just I think it's just kind of this is the best overall lineup. You know, here's season possessions, here's total possessions, so you can see. Oh wow, like the Nuggets this lineup of KCP, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Jamal Murray, and MPJ. They played a lot of minutes together and had a lot of possessions specifically. So we can show 10 entries. Let's do that. So we can sort by team. So we're gonna go to Hawks, right? Season lineup, like who had the most possessions, which is gonna be them. Bunch of different things. So like you could look at like the worst offensive team, the worst offensive lineup in the entire league. Zach Collins, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, and Jeremy Sohan. Like on negative 7.4 points per 100 possessions. Um, which is very, very bad. And the net, then there's like the defense. They're very bad on defense as well. Then you get some. So this is really interesting. I did not know that. Look at that. The Timberwolves with Conley, Gobert, Naz Reid, Edwards, and McDaniels are -7 in terms of plus minus. And then their defense obviously is really, really good, so the net goes a little bit more. But they didn't have a ton of possessions. It's only 700. And the Clippers are here. So we can kind of get a good bet. You always want to see. I did a video like last year where I talked about pace and space and the new movement in the NBA and how like the Kings in 2020 going 2022 2023 they had like the best offense, like most historic offense ever, like most points per 100 possessions and stuff, a bunch of stuff like that. Best rated offense got the third seed, like the crazy. Then they lost in the first round, and it just like it. What does that do, right? So I wanted to look at like offense, defense, and net. You don't want to just look at the net and like because that's oh wow who's the best offense and the best defense, relative to one another. You want to look at everything because like oh, how good is their offense in comparison to defense? What's carrying the net percentage? Is the net box plus minus carried by the offense or the defense, right? So I want to look at a bunch of different things. Basically, the Celtics. Let's look at the best net lineup for offense and defense. You could say this is the best lineup in the entire league last year. On the floor is here, let me move myself to the other side. Gosh dang it. There we go. Live editing. Okay, sorry. There we go. I just want to make sure this works. Hold on. Give me one sec. Okay, we're good. Okay. The best lineup in the entire league last year, according to offense and defense and net rating, it was Nicholas Batum, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Anthony Melton, Tyrese Maxey. So they have the highest net rating by over almost 2 whole points, which is pretty good. But they have the reigning MVP and the scoring champion, the scoring leader on that lineup. And what is the net carried heavily by? It's going to be carried a ton by the offense. Shoot, where'd it go? Going to be covered a ton by the offense, right? Defense is okay. As you can see, the defense is not as good as like the Warriors defense or the Bucks defense. This is all per 100 possessions, right? Or the Hawks defense or the Cavs, right? So it's a lot better than the other top two, which is really interesting. But the net overall is carried by that high offense. And you can see the same thing here, which is really interesting. The highest offensive is the Knicks. So they just have a worse defense, which I wouldn't have thought that. This is kind of stuff that like stats are important for because on paper for me, the Knicks have a way better defense. Maybe not specifically in that lineup with Brunson and Miles McBride. And then you don't have like Anunoby. You don't have, now you have Mikal Bridges, right? But they're a lot scrappier, but their defense right here is a lot more lacking. So the next biggest thing we got to look at is possessions because you could, like this, a lineup could be like the greatest lineup ever and have all these stats for 100 possessions. But if they only have 100 possessions, it's not a lot of volume. So we want to look at the volume. And so we can go, let's see. Let's try and find... I want to try to find the best lineup. Oh, this is the other thing. Look at this. Top couple lineups in terms of net rating. Sixers lost Batum, Tobias Harris, and then Anthony Melton. So that's not a lineup anymore. They can't do that. The Knicks, let's move on to them. Are they like the best lineup next? They lost Hartenstein. Can't run that anymore, okay? What about the third one, okay? Oh, they lost KCP? Okay, that's not a lineup anymore. Okay, let's go to the fourth one. The Warriors. Oh, okay, they lost Clay. So that's not a lineup either. Go down to 5. The Bucks. They don't have Malik Beasley. You see how this is very, very interesting to see how things are going to shape out. And I'll get to my point in a second. Then you get down to the Hawks are the next one after that. And it's Bogdan, Trae Young, Onyeka Okongwu, Sadiq Bey, and Jalen Johnson. So I think this is of Sadiq Bey. I don't think they lost him. So technically, they have the best net lineup going into in the next season in terms of consistency, because all those other lineups lost a guy on that lineup, which can change things. Now with the lineup that's Brook Lopez, Dame, Giannis, and Chris Middleton, I don't know if this is going to change that much, especially if you throw Gary Trent in for Malik Beasley. It's basically a 1-for-1, right? But you got to look at, okay, all these guys like the Nuggets, they had a lot of minutes, or they had a lot of possessions. Like that doesn't count. It's done because you can't have any more possessions with that lineup. So we move down. The Hawks, okay, they have the best lineup net rating percentage plus minus, which is only one stat, but going into next season, well, they only have not even 1,000 total possessions played with each other. So we look down. There's some good number ones, but not enough value for what we need, right? Not like the one-time Nuggets in 2023 where they won the chip, had almost 8,000 possessions, right? That's a lineup that it does very, very well, and it has done that through a lot of possessions, not just like these little skimpy ones. So then we get down to the Boston Celtics at number 10. But like you can see, it's important to see that they have the amount of possessions we're looking for. They have almost 2,500 possessions as a team with this lineup. Like it's the new death lineup. Drew Holiday, Kristaps, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and D. White. That's the death lineup. That just won the championship this past year. So, but the good thing about Darko that I loved, and this is why I love just like mess around stuff, we can tinker with this and get the results that we need. So we want a team that has a net of above 10, a net rating above 10. Let's try and find a very consistent. Let's see. Oh, should we do 8 or 10? Let's work our way up. Let's do 8. And let's do half and half of that. So let's do like offense is like 4 and defense 4. Can I just type? Yeah. 4 tab 4. Is that how you do? I don't know how to do this. 4 to 4? I don't know. Do we find any teams? And possessions. We need over 1,000 possessions. Let's do 1,000. Come on, that's fine. Okay. Oh yeah. How's that? Does that work? 4. Okay. The only team that has an offense BPM of over 4, a defense BPM of over 4, and a net rating of over 8 with over 1,000 possessions played last season is the Bucks. Twice. Brook Lopez, Dame Lillard, Jay Crowder, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Malik Beasley, and then you just swap out Jay Crowder for Chris Middleton, and it gets a lot better. We can see like defensively it stays the same, but it jumps up almost 1.9 whole points on offense when Chris Middleton comes in. So this is the kind of stuff we look at. Where's the Celtics at? So we're gonna have to like move all the way back down. We know the Celtics have the possessions, but with their defense throughout the regular season and the man, we go down. What in the world? There they are. Boston Celtics at 2.4. So they had an 8.8 net rating, but their defense was middling. This is why stats are so interesting, is because that doesn't tell us the whole story. The Celtics locked up on defense, 100% clamped the freak out of everybody they played. So why does their defense only show a 2.4 plus minus for the season? I don't know. That's the whole thing. Is it's like I don't know. I don't get it. This doesn't make sense. But it's interesting to look at it like that, and we see some numbers that are very good, and we see some numbers that are like, what? How does this even work? Anyways, let's see if we can guess together. Where'd my chat go? I had a chat up. Gosh dang it. There we go. Let's see if we can lower the standards a little bit and find some other teams to kind of round out some competition. So, like I said, though, look at the Bucks. The Bucks, I talked about this in my last video. The Bucks need to be treated with more respect. These guys are still here, 100%. Giannis just, and I'm not saying this like Giannis is hurt like Kawhi all the time, but if Giannis is healthy, they're completely fine. He broke his hand in the first round of last year or something like that. And then before that, it just since 2021 he hasn't really been completely fully healthy, um, which has been interesting. But they're still here, dude. They got Brook Lopez, they got Dame, they got Giannis. I think they dude. I don't if they would have kept Drew and Giannis is healthy, they might be better. Their defense isn't looking super bad, especially that according to stats, Malik or Dame, even having Dame on the floor, technically, the defense is better than the Boston Celtics, which I don't understand. I need to look into that more. That's very interesting to look at. But let's lower the standards a little bit and find a team. Let's go down to like 7. Should we go down to like 7? Nobody still? Wow. 3.5 or 3.5? Who does that bring us to? Nobody else? Holy crap, really? Let's say a good defensive at least like 1.5. Still, wow, nobody. So we're lowering. Oh, and I guess possessions. Let's lower possessions a little bit. Let's go to a flat like around 900. So then we get the Sixers again, but this once again this lineup is cooked. They're done, and the Cavs join the fray. The Cavs have just as high as the defense as the Bucks do in terms of box plus minus, and their offense is there at 5.5. That's pretty good. But the amount of possessions they've had is not enough. And it's interesting to look at. You got Mitchell, Okoro, and Strus. This is your best lineup. So what does that say about Garland? And what does that say about Evan Mobley? I don't know. I know that they've had problems in the past with like Allen and Mobley playing together. This is very interesting to look at. I need to be writing stuff down. Maybe we'll figure this out in a different stream. Let me do this. So why Celtics defense lower than the Bucks? .1 to 2.4 BPM. Let's find the answer out right now. Let's look this up. What makes Okay, let's go back. Basketball Reference about plus minus. So, BPM is a box score based metric that estimates the basketball player's holy crap, contribution to the team when the player is on the court. So they use this, but for lineups, right? So they do this. These lineups, all of these players have this effect when they're on the court. BPM uses a player box score information, position, and team's overall performance to estimate a player's contribution in points above league average per 100 possessions played. It is purely a rate stat. Playing time is included in VORP, so value over replacement player, which is discussed below. Okay. Here's good. Here's good. Let me. Can I flip over? I gotta fix that somehow. So to give a sense of scale, this is obviously talking individual, and maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll look at the Bucks and we'll look at the Celtics. But 10 is an all-time season. Think peak Bron or Jordan. 8 is like, so hold on. Who do we see the 10 on here? 10 that's Joel Embiid. So we see that Joel Embiid is a legit, complete 3-level scorer. He's a monster. He won MVP, right? He's got all this stuff. And so that's an all-time season. And he averaged 34, 35 points before he went down. That's freaking amazing. Then we get down to MVP season. Think Dirk or peak Shaq. All NBA season. And this is, I think, predominantly looking in offense because it's in terms of points. So, yeah, a value of 5 means the team is 5 points per. So, with Joel Embiid on the court and with these guys around him, the Philadelphia 76ers were 10 points better than the league average, which is once again, an all-time season. 6 is all NBA, 4 is all-star consideration, 2 is a good starter, 0 is like solid 6-man, a starter. It's like just anyone who starts. That's the benchmark. Under is a bench player or replacement level. So we look at these guys. So 6 we know is like all NBA. So all NBA offenses. Let's look at this. Let's have who had a 10. Who else had a 10? We can get rid of these. Bink, Bink, and Bink. Who had some of the best offenses last season? Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks, except they lost Hartenstein. And the Nuggets were there, which surprises me because they're okay, 2024. Their defense wasn't as good. But we're looking at the offense. So all-time historic seasons on offense, purely in terms of lineup construction and how they played against other teams, is these two teams. So it's very interesting. So we had 2 teams at 10. How many teams at 8? That's it. So how many teams at 6? Had an offensive season of 6 BPM. Come on, give me around 6. There we go. A lot more. Okay. So then we get the Warriors, who they're chalked. That lineup's cooked. The Bucks, the lineup's cooked. They don't have Malik Beasley, who obviously, once again, isn't going to make that big of a difference. But if he's on the Bucks' best lineup, obviously made a difference. Knicks again with Hartenstein, he's not there, and Quickly he's not there either. Wow. Pelicans with Nance, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy. That's a good lineup. Just looking at it, but they lost Nance to the Hawks. The Celtics had a pretty good offense. The Pacers lost Buddy Hield, so they're cooked, and the Pacers lost Buddy Hield, so they're cooked. So only a couple teams had a really, really stand out offensive season last year, which is very interesting to look at. So here's a histogram of Flair from 74 to 2019. Let's see. Oh, okay. Player season's minutes. So this is how you see box plus minus of 2. A lot of people were just good starters. Then there's like you get the all-stars, and you get like the superstars, and like the MVPs and the champions and stuff like that. So team scale, an elite team will have a regular season efficiency of 8 per 100 team possessions. The elite team's best lineup of their 5 top players might be in the 14 range or even higher. Interesting. I wonder why the Celtics isn't. I wonder why. Maybe it's because maybe it's different. I don't know if it's different. Let's see what else we got. See, this is the kind of stuff that I love. Look at this. Woo! This is crazy. Point guard, center, assist, turnover. Wow, this is so interesting. Interesting. Per 100 possessions. Oh, weird. Okay, so let's use this. And let's go to player profiles. Let's look at Jason Tatum. So Jason Tatum in an offensive DPM. This is a daily. This is their metric, DPM. It's just daily plus minus. So it tracks every single day. It'll give you, because plus minus comes out, I guess, every game, but it doesn't give for like the entire season. So last season, August 6th, 2024, his offensive DPM, daily plus minus, is 5.5. And we saw that 6 was all-star. 6 is all NBA. So that checks out, right? And then defensively, he's a decent starter. So he's not like crazy defensively. But then let's look at a guy like, should we look at Drew Holiday? Okay, defense seems to be that it's a little more watered down. I think that it has a lot. This is definitely an offensively skewed metric, and so even though there's an offensive and a defensive side to it, doesn't defense is like who's someone that's like let's give me Gobert. Let's see. Is Gobert's like a 6? His is a 4. So if he just won the DPOY last year, that's crazy. He's negative on offense. That's wild. What about like Wemby? 2 point. Let's see who else. Like Jaren Jackson, 1.3. So yeah, Gobert is really good. Wow. So it's definitely skewed more towards offense, and so we see here, Drew had like a 1. So he's like in between a good starter, decent starter. Like, let's look at Jaylen Brown. Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown. Come on. No, not Jalen Clark. Bro. 3 point. Okay, 3 point. Wow. Negative defensively. So defense, you get ranked really hard. Like, really hard. I wonder why. So his weird, dude. What's a guy like Trey? So I'm getting so sidetracked, but this is very, very good information. What's Trae Young look like? Wow. So his DPM is only like a 1 because of his offense. So that's interesting to see that he was in one of like the better lineups. Okay. So Tatum. We can see how good Tatum played. His DPM's carried by his offense and defense is there a little bit, right? Let's see. He's over here in the small forward category, which is interesting to see that they're like that high. Oh, you guys can't even see. Ah, sorry. Let me get out of the way. There we go. Like down here, we can see stuff like player progression as well. So he's looking like he's gonna have his better season. So yeah, if he's just under an All NBA season, then they can definitely repeat. Especially let's look at Jaylen Brown. And this doesn't. This is gonna be interesting for Jaylen Brown because he didn't. He was good like the whole season, but he's All-Star consideration. That's where he's at with his plus minus. So he's actually regressing, which is interesting. This is where everyone starts. Everyone starts around here. Being at like a 1 or a 2 is really, really good. And then now he's obviously he was at a 4 last year. And he's kind of dipped off a little bit. You can see he kind of plummeted. Can we click on this whole thing? He plummeted and kind of went back up. And like, you only really saw that here. But he kind of had a little stretch. Interesting. Hmm. So they need him. If he gets better, because this is the whole season, he tanked off. Basically, he was good, or he was bad, then really good, then bad, and that's not even bad. You dip down to like a 2, which is a good starter. So it's like he just wasn't really there. Tatum, let's see where Tatum like dropped off to on the lowest, because Tatum did carry most of the season. Yeah, Tatum was at a 5 the whole time, the entire time. But let's look at the Bucks. How good is Giannis? Giannis last season had a 3.8. So All-Star consideration. That's crazy. And his defense is 2. So his net is 5. And he regressed too. But this season he stayed pretty consistent-ish. Like kind of consistent. He was at a 6 though. Basically the whole he won the chip and he got better the next year, but they lost. And then this is really interesting. Let's look at Dame. Because these older guys have a lot to tell us. I don't want Damian Jones, I want Damian Lillard. He's regressed too. I guess he was injured this year, so it didn't really give much. but he's currently at like a 3, but his BPM is only like a 1 because his defense is that neg. Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, but we can do multiple. Oh, what's this? Compare players. So let's compare some of the best players, the best offensive players, and the best number one options in the West. So Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, and who else is there? Brunson. Oh, sheesh. So you can already see the disparity. I talked about 3 guys, and they're like crazy. Then you get Brunson, who's good, but then he drops down a little bit. So to look at this, all these guys are relatively around the same thing. Now, the Knicks, this isn't going to say the Knicks are like absolutely like cooked. Their star just isn't as good as the other star. Let's do Halliburton as well. And Halliburton's even lower than Brunson. Wow. Interesting. So Halliburton started lower than Brunson, went up, came down. Embiid started high, shot up with Giannis, and then dropped down. Giannis went consistent, and then kind of met up with Tatum, who's stayed steady, slowly got better over the course of the season. So, give me Jaylen Brown. Once again at the bottom. Okay, so not there. What about Brunson? Now. So yeah, that checks out. Weird that Jaylen Brown is a Finals MVP. That is a weird thing to look at. So this is just a snapshot based off of DPM overall and how they played. So they finished the season out basically the exact same. The top 3. Man, this is so weird to look at. Let's see who else we got. Let's go here. Current player skill projections. Who had the highest DPM in the league? Okay. Tatum was next. Wow. Giannis. So we literally just put all 3 of these guys next to each other. So Joel, yeah. Oh, that's the wrong window. Joel was literally a 0.1 points behind. Interesting. DPM improvement. Oh, that's a cool stat. That's freaking sweet. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Who's the best? It's gotta be Embiid. Oh, it's Tatum. Yeah, well. I guess I saw Embiid right here. Weird, man. Kawhi, D. Mitch, Wemby. Wemby's up there. Wow. That's pretty much all I had for today. I just want to look at and find some stuff out about if the Celtics can repeat. This is so fascinating to me. Let's do a little bit of a rookie deal. Let's see. Let's see. Should we do Scoot? Let's just do Scoot versus freaking who else is a rookie point? Amen Thompson. Oh boy. So wow, Amen actually got into the positives this season. How did Wemby do? I don't want to crush these guys. Oh yeah, Wemby shot up out of wow. Game but like by game 10, he was already like solid started. Now he's at a 5. What the freak? Wembanyama, dude. Well, because his defense is so high. Holy crap. So we got percentiles as well. DPM, he's already, wow. How about like Chet? Oh, can we do 2 at the same time? No? Chet drops down a little bit. Wow. You can see the curve. Got a lot better quick. Stayed steady, got better towards the end. Wemby. Just a straight, yeah, exponential curve. That's freaking awesome. Let's look at guys. Let's look at the West now. Let's look at the West. So we got current season snapshot. Let's do Jokic, Shea, Anthony, Edwards. I'm not looking at Luca. Not Luca Garza. Bro, Luca. Why is not Luca Doncic the first one? I'm not looking at who else. Who else is there? Who else is there? Shea, Jokic, Ant, Luca. Let's go. I guess John didn't play last year, but I'm expecting them to be top 5 seed. Let's go Kawhi. Try that. So the DPM all last season, Nicole, obviously Jokic just smoked everybody at a 7, dude. So 7. So okay, his MVP season based off of BPM was accurate. It's above a 7 towards an 8. That's an MVP season. And that's like peak Dirk, peak Shaq. And I thought Shea was going to win, but Shea was only at a 4, which is that. So this is fascinating to look at. Kawhi is up here at a 5.5, 6 on BA. Luca is down here. Ant is at the bottom. Where's Luca? Oh, Luca's orange. Oh, yeah, Luca's right there. Okay, so that's some good seasons. So who... Oh, man. Can we do the West? How about... I can't do conference, huh? Excuse me. Interesting, dude. Scatterplots? Ooh, what's this? Sorry, half of this video is just me playing around with what this is. This is freaking sweet. Quadrants? Oh, ooh. The DPM and pace. At player levels. Yes. Oh, crap. Is this going to blow my computer up? Holy wow. So we can look at pace. Filter by minutes per game. Give me at least like 28 minutes per game. DPM of at least 1. So hold on. We could do what? Points. Obviously, it's Jokic again, who comes in number 1. I'm starting to think the people who voted Jokic for MVP knew what they were doing. That's how I'm starting to look at things. Look at freaking Kelly Olynyk in the bottom corner. That's hilarious. So in terms of who could win MVP this next year, let's go back and look at all. Let's see. What about DPM and usage percentage? It's gonna be Jokic again. Oh, Wemby. Holy crap. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Giannis was probably there. Jokic didn't get used as much, which is weird because they have less options. This year is definitely going to be it. Let's just look at block percentages. Look at Wemby just freaking, wow. Yeah, all over the place. Sheesh. Chat is right there too, man. That's awesome. Yeah, quadrant is what we want. I am so fascinated by this. Let's do... What's pace again? Oh, rim field goal percentage. Giannis. Kicked everyone's butt. Pace. I don't know what pace is. 100 possessions? Per 100 possessions? Oh, 2020, 21. Oh, wait, no, that's not true because Wemby's here. Don't know what's going on. Anyways, I just wanted to mess around with that. I think we got some good answers. We saw the Bucks are going to do pretty well. The Celtics should be able to repeat, but the Bucks lineup, man, according to the numbers, looks very, very, very good. Especially if you have Giannis on your team. Why would they not be? Why would that not be a good team, right? Anyways, that's all I got for today, homies. Very interesting. We got videos coming out tomorrow and Saturday, and yeah, so we will catch you guys then. I woke up at like 5 a.m. this morning and watched a little bit of Serbia, Australia, and then it came to stream. So it's over. I'll go unpause that, and then I'm gonna watch USA put a smackdown on Brazil, hopefully. So be easy, y'all. That's all we got for today. We out.